Hey guys, welcome back to iNVision Prototypes. I'm Nick. Today, I'm chilling inside this 40 Ford Coupe. Hardly. Don't know if you can tell, but there's a bit of a sound difference in here. It's because we're starting to install the interior panels. And I think it's going to sound really good. The acoustics are going to be really good in here. So far, the ceiling liner, rear side panels, and this lower section here, just behind my legs, has been installed. And I'm just about to jump out and grab the rear speaker deck before we go ahead and finalize this rear door area. Once we get that in, we'll probably get the seats in and get the front dash panel in. And that should just about wrap. Oh, the center console. We'll get that, the switches hooked up, get the center console installed, and that should just about wrap up the interior. Almost. We have a few more bezels that are being painted right now. We'll get those installed later on. Easy, easy, nice and gentle. We don't want any mishaps at this point in the game. When I jumped out, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, the speaker location, that's factory stock Mustang. All we did was take that rear deck, turn it 180 degrees, and remount it back in the car. This rear deck, just about in. I need to find the screw locations at each end, get them pinned, and then we have these side filler pieces that get mounted on either side. And then we can go ahead and get that rear door mounted on the hinge and locate that. It's one piece at a time. Now, I'm kind of glad this interior is roomy because it makes things a lot easier. Very good. This is turning out really, really well. The speaker grills, will get them dropped in afterwards, but not sure if you can tell, we have that little reveal, and that corresponds to the shape of the rear window. Looks quite nice in here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's going in like butter, nice and smooth. Yeah, I need to jump out yet again, get some more screws, and so we can pin these in place. And I need to find the holes. So the way you find the holes in these panels, the way I find them, is you go ahead and you locate the hole from the backside using your finger, because you can feel where the leather isn't covering the metal, and you can feel where the hole is. Then you take the scissors with a sharp point, you kind of feel around in the general proximity of that hole until you find where it's soft. Then you take and jab the scissors through the leather and into your finger. You found the hole. Then you can go ahead and put the screw in after. So just like that, found the hole, and feel around until, right there. Or you could find the hole from the backside with the point and come through the front. Like that. And then once you pierce it from one way, you can go through and pierce it the other way. It's funny, but no matter how many times you test and retest, as soon as you go ahead and upholster a panel, it doesn't fit exactly the way it did the 20 times you tested it before that. We're using fasteners with a small washer underneath the head so that when you do it up, you don't tear the leather. The fastener is allowed to rotate with the washer up against the leather. I'm gonna grab the door. That's one thing that hasn't been finished yet. Test it in this opening. If everything's good, we don't have to trim anything off. Then we're gonna go ahead and get that wrapped up, literally. I should give this a little wipe with some leather conditioner and drop those grills in, finish that off there. We have to make up a template for the last piece at the back, get that done, and just keep moving ahead. But we can throw that piece in after the seats are in. Right now, I want to kind of get that front dash assembly finished and test out the center console switches, make sure all that works. Yeah, you don't want to use the white liquid stuff, I don't want to call it by name, because it has a time and place. But if you got leather, you want to make sure that you clean it with the appropriate substances, if you will. We have our factory speaker grills. getting a little better at jumping in and out. If this was a sports car, forget it. Now they should snap in. Uh-oh. There we go. I can't reach up from the underside because it's a solid panel. For a second, I thought I'd be able to. Okay, and that fits in flush with the top surface of a rear deck. Perfect. All right, let's get the rear door, see how that looks, and then once that it's upholstered, we'll get that dropped in. Ooh. That is going to work out quite nicely. We left a bit of space on the bottom for the hinges, and the top's going to have enough clearance room, a little bit big right now because it's not wrapped. Once it gets wrapped, it'll tighten the spaces up and it'll fit in really well. Guess what I found? The awl. You'll never see under the seats, but we want it to be clean. Okay, I think we're just about ready to get that center console installed. Okay, you gotta be careful we don't touch the screen or damage the screen in any way. This should just slide down and into place. Come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's into place. And we can drop this harness down. And here we have our little control panel, power windows for the quarter window switches. We have our trunk release. Surprisingly, Mustangs this generation never had a trunk release from the inside of the car. Strange. So we added that, and the special feature I'll tell you about later on. You guys will get a kick out of that. Well, let's get this hooked up. All right, and this gets pushed down into the holder. Now I'm gonna jab it in all the way in case we have to pull it out. Everything has been tested once, but you never know. So once everything's good and tested, we'll push it all the way home. We can take this out by taking and reaching in through here and popping it up from the front of the cup holder. There's a small hole just for that purpose. We have a new boot coming, so this one was torn. Got that replaced. Just wipe everything down one more time before we go ahead and install the side bezels. This is the exciting part. After all the hard work of building, fabricating, all that stuff, we're finally, I think we need a Q-tip or something to get into here. Yeah. So knobs are okay. We can get to those later. I just want to make sure the side areas are clean. Very carefully. Oh, wouldn't you know it? These go in first, I guess. Yes, they do. So this tail goes on the inside of that. See what happens after a few months? You kind of forget. So no problem. We have enough wiggle room. We just lift this up, pull that back, and snap this in. Let's try this side here. I guess we got to come back a little bit more. That's odd. I would have thought these go in afterwards. I might have to check out an earlier video of when we disassembled the interior. See what I did. Alright, so that pops in there. Okay, good. And these guys here, and this one here. Like that. Okay. This has to separate from the lower side. I remember now. Managed to get around this. If you take, without separating this, pull the console back just a little bit, snap the tops of these in partially, like so, and then you kind of wiggle, just like that, the side piece in relation to the console, allowing the console to slide forward, and they snap in. Boom. That's it. So we're good. And we didn't have to separate this. This top section does come off, I remember now. So, okay, that's all together. We can get the back fasteners in. There's two little 10mm socket screws here at the back, and we'll get those in. So we'll get all this wiped off afterwards. It's a bit dusty. Now we can go ahead with the top of the dash. It's going to snap right in like that. I hope. After upholstery, things get a little snug. I think I'm catching on that rubber. Would you mind reaching over and pulling that back? I know you guys can't do that. Okay, I need to go on the other side and fish the wire up for the dome light console and remove that rubber that's being trapped in behind the dash pad. Pardon me while I jump in here. Pull that out like that and put that up like that. Bingo. All right, pull this back. This drops in here. Come on, drop in. There. See, the bottom lip of this top dash pad tucks into a little groove that we left after we cut the original dash pad off. That's sitting mighty fine. Nice and smooth. No vents on top to interfere with your visual appearance. There's actually a space between the glass and the front edge of this dash pad that you won't see from the outside or the inside that allows the air for the defroster to come up and clear your windshield, leaving the top nice and smooth. Let's get some screws into this. Yeah, it's gotta go that way. Oh, there we go. And that just fell into where it needed to be. So with the two fasteners installed on the ends, the dash pad is mounted. That's it. No other fasteners. The front edge is caught into a little reveal. These stop it from sliding out or jumping up, and the front is fixed. So that's it. We get the 8-post pillars installed afterwards, and these bezels, they snap in from the front. The two on the ends as well as the center one. The center one's going to have an iNVision logo on it. So, okay, I think it's time for the seats. All right, guys, moment of truth. Let's see if we can get this seat installed. Wow, these things are heavy. It's been a long day, but I want to bring you guys in and show you what's going on here. Seats in. We just gotta get the bolts in, but that is really shaping up really nice in here. I'm liking this a lot. It's great to see everything come together for the final time. Really, really cool. Okay, let's get some bolts for the front here, and then we're gonna have to move you guys over here, and get that seat in. Okay, just move the cables up out of the way. It's a little bit lighter, but ouch. But it's still heavy. All right, so we'll have to plug that in. Maybe we do that now while we can still get at it. Plugs are connected. First fastener is in. I'll have to get the other fasteners in a moment. And then we can actually jump in and try these seats out, see what it feels like in here. I haven't sat in this car since the first mock-up outside when I actually drove the car out. The second mock-up, we just pushed the car out. But just sit that back. Yeah, let's get the fasteners in here because I don't want to topple backwards. At this point, we're pretty committed. This is it. This is the final stretch. And the adrenaline kicks in. Like, it's been a long day, but, you know, it feels like I'm just starting again. So, yeah. We'll get that seat bolted in, and then I'll jump in and take it for a spin. Maybe make some vroom vroom noises. That's better. They use two different sizes, 15mm socket back there and 13 up front. Really weird. Guess it increases productivity or efficiency. No, it wouldn't actually, because you'd have to get a second socket. We're torqued. 85 foot-pounds. Boom. We are in. Make sure the wires don't get pinched. The last thing you want is a wire to get, or hot wire to get pinched, rub through, and burn your car down. So always pay attention to where your wires are going to be going. I'm going to put these nuts on temporarily. They will be done up once we move the seat ahead. It's kind of snug at the moment. Yeah, the track is over this one. Can't get it on. Okay, we'll leave that there. And we'll take this for a spin. I guess after all the vacuuming we did, I should throw something down on the floor. Okay, let's see how it feels. Wow, well, that feels good. Wow. This is incredible. I'm actually thinking about it, and this car was driven out for the first mock-up. I sat on a crate. I didn't actually use these seats. They were in storage. But this is feeling good. That's better. It was cockeyed. It bothered me. There we go. So we have our tilting column. And no, it doesn't telescope. But it feels good right there. Pretty cool, guys. We'll get the boot on there after with the knob. And that's it. So this interior has really come together quite nicely. Like I said, those bezels will be installed after. The two end ones are all being painted body color, except for the center logo, the iNVision logo. And we have our special switch, power window switches, and trunk release. All the vents. Now, if you notice, these bezels are actually been scotch dulled. We took the shine off, gave them a grain, just to give it that satin look, that brushed look. Don't want anything too glaring in our face. The steering column or steering wheel, silver areas, they do have a kind of a brushed look to them, so we're leaving that alone. We're having an emblem printed for here. And yeah, just trying the AC. It's a little bit warm, but it doesn't work right now. The car's not running, obviously. So, okay guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Not too much fabrication, but final assembly, which is really fun too. Yeah, we got lots of headroom, but I'm actually short compared to our client. He sits somewhere up here. He's a huge guy. So he's really gonna feel comfortable in this car. Custom traditional 40 Fords, he felt kind of crunched up in them. He's probably gonna sit about here. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I'm pretending to be him. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, guys. I like to sit back more in my seat. I think it's an age thing. I don't know. So anyway, take care.